Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of Gooner TV EPL review show, preview show. Yes, this is the program before the games come on. We pick the games, we try to pick them at the best of our ability. We don't always get there, but yes, it's always good fun, people. We're going to analyze the games, look at the team news, look at the injury news, of course, for each team, and that will help us to have a better idea of how we should pick these games, right? Of course, we always go through that every week. We have 10 matchups that we're going to talk about this week. We do have an extra game next week, Wednesday, but we won't include that in the predictions, but we'll talk about it as well at the end of the show. Of course, the EPL was on a slight break. We had the FA Cup this weekend. We had European football as well being played. So we are back in the thick of things with the EPL. And here on Gooner TV, we follow the EPL very closely. So we're going to do what we always do. This is the preview show. We have a game on Friday this week, Brighton and Chelsea. So we want to talk about the football matches tonight so that we can catch that Brighton Chelsea game into the mix. All right. Of course, the games that we're going to talk about today will conclude on Sunday. So we'll be back Sunday night for the review show where we'll reveal all the picks for the week and the standings so we can crown a champion and also the dubious title of Donkey of the Week for the picks. All right, people. So if you're not new to the channel, you know how it goes. But of course, we want to run it down for everyone who is seeing it for the first time, just so they can get an idea of what goes on here. Of course, we are very interactive. So during the show, you'll see the usual suspects start popping up in the comment section, talking about their various teams and bantering each other. So yes, join the conversation, join the fun. If you're an EPL fan, you will definitely enjoy this content. And we know about football as well, so you will learn some things. Up in a file, check in. Big up Red Skull. One at Skull, Red Skull. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. Make them know if you share it. Of course, do the YouTube things, people. We're on YouTube. So you know what helps the channel? You like the video, right? Share the content as well around the place. And if you are new to the channel, we don't have it on subscriber only mode or anything like that. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, first time seeing it, definitely consider dropping a subscription. I'm going to take my own advice right now and share this content as well. All right. So let me go ahead and share this around. Yeah, man. Can't be telling you guys to share and I'm not sharing my own content, right? So let me share that real quick in a few groups. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that done. Mama said must always share it to her. So I send it to Mama. Yeah, man. So we're live, people. Drop a comment in the comment section. Hopefully, you guys' week going well so far. Yeah. Hopefully, you guys' week going well so far. Me as an Arsenal fan, tough week. Waking up to some terrible news the other day, which we'll discuss tonight on the program. But yeah, all I will say is Arsenal made their bed. Now they have to lie in it. All right, people. They have nobody to blame but themselves. Trust me. But we'll get into all of that, people, tonight on the program. As I said, I'm just sharing this around a few more times. Muffin a war with somebody outside. Yeah, man, devastating. May I tell you the truth? Devastating. Yeah. All right, so we're not itch people. We'll get right into it. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, people. All right. Please do that for me. Yes. So first things first, people. We are going to look at the latest team news and injury news around the Premier League. All right. There were some big injuries suffered recently, and we're just going to tell you guys all about the key ones. So let's go. So I'm to say, big up Gooner with your bug side. Cool, no? All I go on, we're going to see what happen. But we just give thanks for Everton and their fight that they displayed. to pull out that 2-2 draw late in the game. That was big. I don't really have much momentum going into the rest of the season because of what's going on right now, but at least that was a nice exciting ending to the game, and I pretty much figured that they got 3 points at that point and was very surprised that they let in a goal late. So we'll take it. We'll take it. David Moyes doing his thing. All right, so Arsenal confirm Havertz out for the season with hamstring injury. So people's hamstrings are getting torn apart right now at Arsenal. We've already seen Saka go down. We saw Martinelli go down with a hamstring as well. And now Kai Havertz. So this Dubai trip that we have taken has been great for us in the past. When we came back last season from it, I think we went on a crazy run, winning games in a row in the Premier League. So, it's been a good thing for us. But this time, the worst possible thing could have happened. A lot of the fans of Arsenal like to beat this player, Kai Havertz, say he's not a striker, all these things, right? I would just like to remind them that he's the leading goal scorer at Arsenal this season. So as much as you hate him and you think we need to get better than him, I'm telling you right now that Arsenal without him currently is way worse than Arsenal with him currently. So hopefully the fans will realize what exactly he brings to the table, because I believe for all his deficiencies in front of goal, everything else that he brings to the table for Arsenal is very, very important, especially when it comes down to the pressing. I think the Manchester City game, if you really analyze how we're able to kind of force City into the areas where we could press them, it all comes down to Havertz and Odegaard and how they synchronize their press. So it's going to be a big loss, people. I'm telling you that right now. He has a lot of deficiencies as a striker. I'm not going to go around that fact. Not clinical enough for me. Not, you have to have this mentality as a striker sometimes to just be in that area to do the dirty finishing. Sometimes I feel like he's not really there for those. But again, he does have a lot of positives that he brings to the table. So we're going to miss him, of course. But this is what it says. Subsequent assessments and specialist reviews have confirmed that the injury will require surgery, which will take place in the coming days. Soon after surgery, Kai will begin his recovery and rehabilitation program, which is expected to extend into pre-season preparations for next season. Everyone at the club is fully focused on supporting Kai to ensure he's back to full fitness as soon as possible. So basically, when I was looking at the FPL game earlier today, it was showing that he has a 25% chance of playing. And I was wondering if they hadn't heard the news around the world that like he's out for the season. But this basically confirms it now. So yeah, Arsenal without Kai Havertz for the remainder of the season after doing no business in the striker role in the January transfer window. So yeah, tough. All Liverpool fans are worried, said Red Skull. Without Salah, they probably lose that game. Yeah, Salah was quiet, but always pops up with that goal and that moment, man. Can count on Salah to do that. Bless up Chile, what go on? Yeah, man, I don't have Chile right down on the list already. Big up yourself, Chile. Tough one in the Champions League for you guys, man. Gave away that game. Enzo Maresca provides Chelsea team news ahead of trip to Brighton. So basically, Jackson and Guiu, they are both not doing well. Nico injured, be out until the international break. Probably he'll be back after the international break, said Enzo about Nico. So no Nico Jackson. Maybe some Chelsea fans will be happy about that. But they really haven't been able to get a tune out of Nkunku. So, hopefully this can make him step up in the absence of Nico. He said we knew we had a muscular problem, but not how important it was at that stage. His reaction was good, so we didn't think it was going to be a big injury. Unfortunately, he had a scan which has shown the injury and he'll be out for 6 to 8 weeks. It says Mark will also be out for a while. He has a muscle problem, a hamstring issue as well, and will be out for a little while. Reece James is fine to face the Seagulls, and he actually has been playing well since he's been back, to be honest. Of course, Chelsea dashed out of the FA Cup by Brighton, on the weekend, and it somehow every season this always happens where teams play each other in the cup games and then play each other right away in the league. This seems to have happened with Brighton and Chelsea. No, so they'll be basically facing them again. He's had a bit more rest in the last few days. He's okay to be involved tomorrow. So as you can see, Nkunku is on the actual match day program, or at least on the Instagram post for Chelsea. I think they know as well that he's going to have to step up. Lavia and Badia Shield close to getting back to training. Wesley Fofana has started working with the group again, could be available in the next few weeks. So that's actually big for them because I was really clowning Fofana at one point, his whole move to Chelsea and everything. But when you look back at the start of the season, one of the reasons why Chelsea started out so well was the play of Fofana, and they have really missed him on the back line, if we're being honest. And Lavia looked like a walking injury at this point. Can't stay fit. But that's the team news out of Chelsea for the weekend. Of course, they play the first game tomorrow. They will travel to Brighton to play, trying to get some revenge after their defeat in the FA Cup to Brighton on the weekend. Of course, Jamie Vardy as well. He's been a thorn in the side of my club over the years. Definitely always turning up against us in matches. And this time he's back in training for the Arsenal clash. Vardy, Vestergaard, and Christensen all trained ahead of the game. He said if everything went well today and tomorrow, they'd be ready for selection. So not good news for Arsenal. As I said, Jamie Vardy always seems to turn up against my team, getting the odd goal here and there for sure. This one was a little blow to my fantasy this past week. This is news out of Goodison. Everton with their team news ahead of their games. Of course, they were the one team to play in the Premier League this week against Liverpool, and of course Tarkowski getting that late goal, making most fans of the Premier League happy that they were able to get a point in that game. A lot of afters in that game as well. A red card to Curtis Jones, a red card to Abdoulaye Doucouré, and also a red card to Arne Slot. So we'll see how that, if in any way, affects Liverpool in their next game. I know with the players, a straight red is a 3-game ban, but I am wondering if the coach's ban is the same. I don't know if someone could let me know in the comment section. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure he will be out of the off the bench for the next game against Wolves based on that red card. Yeah, this looks like it's just trying to find the NDI part because you saw him come off in the first half after kicking the ground, looked really bad. Could have been any number of issues. It could have been his ankle, knee. I'm not really sure, but I'm trying to find in this article where it would have talked about that because, let's see. Run on by the electric. Doo-doo-doo. But that game was a good game, man. A good old-fashioned English League derby. Players getting into challenges, arguments with the referee, players having arguments with each other, coaches in the fourth official air the whole game. Yeah, a lot of incidents happening, but Liverpool again. Even though I feel like if you watch that game, there were stretches when Liverpool looked like they were destined to probably score goals. I think with Liverpool, what I've noticed is they really just know how to convert any attacks into some kind of meaningful ending. They take a shot on goal, they take a dangerous cross into the box. They really don't waste a lot of the forward movement that they get in the games. And I think because of that, they put defenses under a tremendous amount of pressure and you're bound to crack. So that's why I just feel like Liverpool, they are yeah, they're really a tough team to keep down for the entire 90. They're gonna get their opportunities. But Endai did suffer an injury. Also, Jack Grealish injured against Real Madrid as well. Um, Started off the game well, pretty much. But obviously it couldn't have been sustained because he sustained that injury. So he'll be out for a little while. Of course, City not really spoiled for choice in that area. I think Doku is fit again. Savio, of course, been playing a lot of minutes lately on decent form. We've seen Marmoush play wide as well. So they have some options. Foden can play outside as well. Um, Awani looks like he broke his nose in the FA Cup match that he played, and of course, Man United did confirm Lisandro Martinez out due to a cruciate ligament injury. So not looking good for him. Definitely going to be out for the rest of the season. So that's pretty much the team news or the major news that has been out in the Premier League. Of course, the biggest news really, Kai Havertz out for the season as Arsenal now down to not that many attacking options in the forward role. It's going to be tough. Arsenal went from have 0.5 strikers to 0 exactly. Sums up our season, to be honest. Yeah, that game against Madrid was a good summation. It's time for Arteta to show if he can prove himself as a good coach. Yeah, I mean, hey, okay, so coach is a 2 game, all right. So he'll miss the Wolves game, and I think they play Aston Villa after that. Because they have 2 games kind of this week. Grealish injured and Akanji out for the rest of the season. Damn, Akanji's out for the rest of the season? Woo! It's not good at all. I don't know if it's for the rest of the season, though. Is it? Why don't go to any of these things? Fresh injury blow. Coming out of Man City 3-2 defeat to Real Madrid, Pep Guardiola's side picked up 2 injury concerns. Grealish and Akanji. Blah, 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 blah. Akanji's injury follows a trend. Okay. A further update is expected when Pep faces the media. But for now, Man City must soldier on with Manuel Akanji gone. So yeah, Akanji cannot stay fit. Ake back now, Akanji gone again. It's like the two of them never play together. He's definitely ruled out for the second leg. And will also miss the Newcastle and Liverpool games. Chaja. City and Arsenal can catch a break with the injuries, brother. Alright, so let's get right into the games. Float is in the building. I could make sure we add in float. We get a nice new desk to the people, so don't know. The thing set a better way. Slowly but surely, people will go studio go nice. Yeah, man. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Checking in. Who's the new striker for the Gunners now? Well, Arteta called me, and asked if I can get back fit and, see some old time clips and say, yo, could I work with it? He might be back, but some news said he's out for some time, possibly the rest of the season. Yeah, well, the couple little article I just browsed a while ago said, definitely like the next couple of weeks him out, but I guess them have to do some more tests first before them, say like what really going to happen. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get into the business, people. Let's start discussing some matches now. So, as I said earlier, we have the first matchup of the week. You were a striker. LOL, I thought you were a midfielder. Well, I could play striker and I could play like wide as well. But I never really played midfield much. So striker, wide forward, and supporting striker too. That's the closest I would come to a midfield still. I would say like I try play like Bergkamp. Basically like Bergkamp and Henry. I would say that would be like who I was trying to play like the most. I used to also like Bebeto a lot as well. So I kind of like that supporting striker role. Not necessarily like a goal poacher, but maybe arriving in the box late or coming from wide, Yeah, I was definitely fast. I wouldn't say I was strong because I was really skinny as a youngster still, but I always had a decent height. Looking at how this season has been, if it comes back in the next month, he'll probably be fit for 3 games max and cycle repeats. Yeah, that's the problem that I've seen with Akanji. Like he'll give you 4 or 5 games and then he's out, and that's pretty much the whole defense besides Vardial this season. Like none of them can stay fit for any extended amount of time. All right, so let's get right into it, people. Brighton and Chelsea. So we get a bonus day this week in the Premier League. We get a game on Friday. It will be 3 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon, of course, on the East Coast or in Jamaica, 3 o'clock. But Brighton and Chelsea, this should be a good matchup. Let's see. So the stats for this game, people, overall in the Premier League, they've played 15 times. Chelsea is dominating in the series, 9 wins for them, 2 wins for Brighton, and four draws. But earlier in the season, Chelsea got the better of them 4-2 at the Bridge. This game, I remember Cole Palmer had his four-goal output. So I remember him scoring a brilliant free kick on this day. They did win this game 4-2. It was, the 4 goals were needed. And I've said all along that Chelsea is a team, if they want to get 3 points in most matches, I think they're going to have to score at least 3 goals. Their defense just makes too many mistakes, provides too many opportunities to the other team. And I think, if their offense is not on it on the day, they're always likely to drop points. On this particular day, though, if you look at Chelsea's team, Sanchez was in goal, which he got dropped last week in the Premier League. I think the coach might continue with that. Cucurella, Colwill, Gusto, and Fofana, who I just spoke about, was playing back then as well. He will be out, so they'll have a different back four for sure. I think Reece James will start. So 3 of the 4 out there will probably play, and then they'll have to pick another centre-back partner. Of course, Disasi is gone, but Trevor Chalobah has returned from loan from Crystal Palace, so he's a heavy candidate to start. Also, they have Tosin as well, who could start, played in the cup match where they recently lost, though, and hasn't really been featured in the Premier League as much. So we'll have to see there. In midfield, Enzo and Caicedo started on this day. Noni, Sancho, and Palmer, these players all are currently fit as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see at least 4 of those 5 in that midfield area. And of course, Nico Jackson will not be fit to play. I think that when you look at their bench on the day, Lavia has been out. Disasi is loaned to Aston Villa now. Tosin is around. Mudryk has been banned. Renato Vega got loaned, or I think it was loaned to Juventus, or it could have been sold. I'm not sure. But I know he's not there anymore. João Felix is on loan to AC Milan, and then Nkunku is still around, even though Nkunku, I think, looks as if he wanted out of there. Hasn't really been playing well for them, and Pedro Neto is around. So I think Nkunku starts up front, more than likely, and then we'll see what he goes with in the midfield and in that one spot in defense. And I definitely think that Jorgensen will get the start in goal. Sanchez, I think, maybe one mistake too many this season. And Enzo is trying something new in the goal. So that's what I think will happen. As far as Brighton is concerned, on this day back in, what was it, September, Verbruggen, I think his form has fallen off a cliff in the last, I would say, month or so. Not really having good performances, making mistakes way too frequently for me. And I think as a Dutch fan as well, I think that he has played himself out of the national team with his performances, if you ask me. But we'll see what it looks like when the teams reassemble in March. The defense on this day, Cardiaglu has been out for a long extended period, so we haven't seen him. Webster and Dunk and Estupinian, those players could start tomorrow as well. Baleba, Mats Vifa, and Jack Hinselwood, Ruta, Welbeck, and Mitoma. Of course, Welbeck had that extended injury a little bit after this time, and really hasn't hit the heights of where he was before his injury again yet, but is looking like he's rounding back into better form. Jorginho Ruta, who did score on this day, I think has been playing well lately as well, and I think Mitoma as well has had a much better uptick in his form, especially when you look at his earlier part of the season, maybe being a little more quiet. I think he is rounding back into that top level that he can possess. Lamptey has been playing well of late as well. And Cesar is not there right now. He's gone on loan to Ipswich. Jakob Morda as well has left the club on loan. Ayari has been playing well for them lately. Good little pickup, it looks like. Ferguson has been loaned out to West Ham. And Minte is around still. So some of these players still around, some gone. Brighton, though, in the league has really been up and down lately. And let's just take a look at their form in the league as of late. So Brighton on the left here, they got that 7-0, of course, from Nottingham Forest. Quite an embarrassment in their last Premier League game. They lost 1-0 to Everton, which, at times this season would look like a bad loss. But I have to be honest, people. Everton is playing some much better football currently under David Moyes. Man United, good win away for Brighton. Good win away at Ipswich as well. And then a good draw at home with Arsenal for Brighton. So, they have had, as I said, they're an up and down team in this league. They have gotten into the top 6 at times this year. But that up and down form has forced them to drop a little further down the table. Currently, they're in 10th. Then, of course, Chelsea's recent form, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. That 1 loss coming to Manchester City away from home, 3-1. Then they beat West Ham last week in the Premier League, 2-1 at home. So that was a good win for them. And, of course, the last time they played at the Bridge before that, they beat Wolves 3-1. They drew at home with Bournemouth 2-2, and they drew away from home 1-1. So in their last 2 away fixtures, 1 draw and 1 loss, and they travel now to the Amex Stadium, and they will be hoping that their fortunes away from home can change. Now, they did get back into the top 4 due to that win against West Ham, currently in 4th position. If you look at the stats this season, the average goal scored right under 2 for Chelsea, about 1.5 for Brighton. Goals conceded, Chelsea with the slim advantage there, 1.3, 1.29 to Brighton's 1.58. But Brighton has 1 more clean sheet, 5-4 over the season. Chances created, Chelsea definitely with the advantage there, almost 2.6 to Brighton's 1.71. And their biggest wins on the season, a 6-2 win against Wolves for Chelsea and a 3-0 win against Everton for Brighton. Worst defeat, of course, coming in their most recent matchup, that 7-0 to Forest. Chelsea with that 3-1, also pretty recent for them. So top players stats right now for both clubs: 14 goals for Palmer, 9 for Jackson, 7 for Madueke. So that's all those Chelsea players leading the goal scoring for both of these teams. Assists, Palmer leading that as well with 6, Jackson with 5. So they'll be missing quite a bit of output with Jackson out of the team for the next 6 to 8 weeks. As much as people want to beat him, he does put up some decent stats. Joao Pedro with 5 assists on the season as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it going into this game with Brighton and Chelsea. A tough one to call for me because Brighton, you just never really know which Brighton is going to turn up on the day. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing that really makes it tough to select Brighton games. I think if you look at Brighton as a team and you look at the picks, you will definitely notice that Brighton is a team that whenever we pick the games, I'm sure Brighton have a lot of people picking them wrong. I'm positive they're a team that's very difficult to know which version of them will turn up on the day. But this game should be a good one, though. I think both teams try to play attacking football, good pressing teams as well, want to be on the protagonist of the game, and that usually makes for good football matches. So I implore most people watch the game. It should be a good one. But yeah, I'm gonna get it cracking with the picks. For this one, I'm gonna go with a Brighton and Chelsea to draw. All right, people. I know that sounds so boring, but that's just what I see. I think both teams have their frailties in defense, and I think both teams will probably give up a goal apiece. So I'm going to go with the Desmond scoreline, and that is Desmond 2-2. All right, so 2-2, Chelsea and Brighton. I think the spoils will be shared on this occasion. Looking at how this season has been, comes back. Okay, read that. Big up 1-1. Bless up, bless up, bless up, bro. Bless up DJ Gigs as well. Gamebird say Jorgensen is now the number one. Yes, I agree. Gamebird say we have no striker. Well, Nkunku will have to play striker, my friend. That's where Maresca put the man as the second striker behind Nico Jackson. I always thought he would be more effective in the left or right role, but Maresca has a much higher coaching license than I do, so I will just defer to him. Chelsea need to stop assigning attacking players and sign what they actually need. That would be helpful because they need a defense. That thing you got under the channel name, what did he call you and say, sorry to disappoint you and the fans and not winning the league this season this year? No. He called me and asked me if I've been in training because he saw some old clips and thought maybe I could be added as a free agent, you know? Chelsea is worst English top club a player could sign for. Damn. Worse than United? I prefer Neto to Madueke personally, but Chelsea have a lot of good attacking options. Yeah, for me, I would start Madueke and Neto. I wouldn't be starting Jadon Sancho. I wouldn't be starting Jadon Sancho. History in the making for Arsenal. Neto final pass in the final third is better than him in my opinion too. Yeah, I think the only thing that I see an issue with Neto is sometimes he falls in love with doing the same exact thing. Like he literally did the same thing 20 times in a row and just vary the game just a little bit more sometimes. But he definitely has end product, and I think he's a lot more clinical if him get chances. Madueke is very streaky though. So when Madueke on it, keep him in the game, play him. I think so. What coaches rate, who they rate. Facts. Sherman said, gonna for life. What do you mean? So Gamebird said 2-1 to Chelsea. If the game was on a Saturday, I would say Chelsea win. However, it's a Friday, so Brighton 2-1. All right. So actually, use the day metrics, you know. DOC blessings. Yeah, man. No, say DOC I put in the work with the girls them over, so I have to respect it, you know. DOC said 2-1. No, 3-2. Sorry. Make sure I write the score proper. Okay, you know the tiebreaker is the correct score, people. So make sure you give me the score line you really think it's gonna be. How can Chelsea have one striker and have 20 wingers? Bless up, Duke. Go on. Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Floats at 2-1 to Chelsea. The Blues. Need to use both feet. Yeah, that's true. Red Skull said 2-0 Brighton. All right. See it there? I'm telling you about Brighton, people. Brighton always have some split game, you know. People, half the crowd pick one way and half the crowd pick a next way and then the rest pick drop. Always. Always, bro. It's always like that. What? Sorry. I don't want that. I don't want that. You don't want that. So turn it off. There we go. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey, girl, Siri. What's wrong with you? I prefer Sancho to Madueke personally. I think his final ball and decision making are far better. He's a very intelligent player, in my opinion, not a man that just runs up and down with no sense, but form matters. Yeah, that's my problem with Sancho. Like, when Sancho is on form, he starts, but his form is so temporary, man. Like, he gives you 2 good games, 3 quiet games, 1 good game, 2 quiet game, 1 bad game, 3 good game, but it too often it's not what you want, not for any extended period. He might give you a good 20 minutes in a game, but then the rest is just quiet. And it's like, should I live off of that 20-minute spell I saw, or sub him out now because we're not going to see it again, I don't know. But yeah, Madueke would make me more upset as a coach because him do foolishness some of the time. At least, Sancho can probably retain the ball at least, which matters. You have to go and keep the ball. So yeah, people, dropping the scores for the Chelsea-Brighton game. I've only gotten Float, Red Skull, at Chile, DOC, Game Birds. Anybody else who would like to drop their scores, drop them now. So the Brighton and Chelsea game, that will be tomorrow, people. So look out for that. Now let's move into the Saturday fixtures. Of course, the first game on Saturday is the one that, of course, I will be tuned into. And a lot of you will, I'm sure. That is going to be the Arsenal versus Leicester game. We travel to the King Power to take on Leicester in this one. This fixture has been played 35 times now in the Premier League. Arsenal with 22 wins to Leicester's 5, and there have been 8 draws in these fixtures. In the recent form of these two teams, we played on that same September the 28th. Arsenal beat Leicester 4-2 on this day, and I remember this game ending up 4-2, but not being how I expected. We took a 2-0 lead after Trossard scored in injury time in the first half. But then out of the second half, 2 goals by James Justin. One, I remember being an incredible volley to make it 2-2 actually. And then it wasn't until late Wilfred Ndidi with a own goal from a corner. I think it was Gabriel who headed that towards goal. Ndidi turned it into his own net. And then Kai Havertz with the last kick of the game, basically giving us that 4-2 win to put a little more glass on the win. And the team that day looked like this. William Saliba, Magalhaes, Timber, and Calafiori could potentially be the backline as well. But of course, Miles Lewis Skelly has been holding down that left back spot. Raya, of course, will be in goal. Partey, Bukayo Saka, we know is out. Gabriel Martinelli, we know is out. Declan Rice is available. And Trossard is available. but no Kai Havertz at all. So that will be the difference tomorrow. A lot of these attacking players no longer available. Havertz, Martinelli, and Saka, basically the front three when you look at the formation, out right now going into this game against Leicester. Of course, Leicester at the time was coached by Steve Cooper, but now we have Ruud van Nistelrooy coaching the team. Hermanson has recently returned from injury, so he should be back in goal for them. James Justin hasn't been playing as much under his new manager. Christensen just getting back into training. Fast, I think, is a walking mistake, so I think he will help Arsenal tomorrow, or Saturday, sorry. And Caleb Akoli hasn't been starting as much, but did start in the FA Cup for them recently. Wilfred Ndidi has been playing very well for them since coming back into the team. He was playing back in September, but did miss some time in the middle of the season, but he's back now. Harry Winks started this day. Mavididi, don't think he's available anymore right now. Bonanate has cooled off this season from back in these times. Oliver Skip hasn't been playing as much under this manager. Vardy just returning to training. So El Canus is one of the players I think has stepped up big time under this manager. Also, Bobby De Cordova-Reid and Jordan Ayew getting a lot more chances under this manager. And Bobby has repaid him with some goals and some assists and some overall good play as well. So Leicester going into this game, really nothing to lose. One of those games where, they can just go into it with an open mind saying, hey, we played them well at the Emirates. We were in the football game for long stretches. And, if we hold our heads down, Arsenal a bit wounded right now, don't know where to turn up front. They might think that they can have an advantage, but I don't think that Leicester is good enough defensively, even with our frailties up front, to stop us from creating a good amount of chances on them and just basically overall dominating the play, territorially and everything. So, typically when we come back from Dubai, we play well in the past. But typically when we come back from Dubai, we don't come back with season-ending injuries either. So it's a little bit different this time around, just especially the vibe coming back. He'll be having to answer questions about the lack of signings and, with only 3 fit forward players. When you look at Leandro Trossard, Raheem Sterling, and Ethan Nwaneri, who really and truly going into this season, we didn't think would be playing so much in the front 3. But I will say that Nwaneri looks like the right wing, especially, could really be a position for him to really thrive. Just his ability to cut in with that precision in terms of his shooting and his final ball is definitely something that Arsenal sometimes lacks if there's no Bukayo Saka. So I think he can really make up for that miss because he definitely has the potential, I think, to be one of the better players in the entire league, actually. That's how good I think this kid can be. Just the way that he glides past players with what looks like minimal effort. That's something that you rarely see so early in someone's career. He just looks so comfortable in whatever situation. Like the football really is his friend when he has it. Just very, very good at shielding the football. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly has similar traits when it comes to shielding the football. And just his fearlessness is something I really like. Definitely somebody that, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but when he goes into challenges, I've rarely seen him lose a challenge, like a duel. It's something about the way he controls his body, puts his body in between the ball and the man. He ends up getting fouled, or he just knows when to make that push and get away from that defender and basically break the lines with his drive himself. And also, I love the fact that he's not afraid to pick a pass between the lines, has good punch on his passes as well. So, he has the confidence there. He's not really tentative with anything he does on the football field. And I think that's why he's been holding down his position so well. This is the form guide, though. Leicester has only had success against our North London rival Spurs in the last 5 games. As you can see, 4 L's around that 1-2-1 win. And that win came away from home as well. At home, their last 2, they have got 2-0 defeats. And I think that Arsenal will also go into the King Power and win this game 2-0. I just have a feeling that we will keep a clean sheet in this game. I think that I guess the only silver lining right now is when you look at the defense and the midfield, it's pretty much healthy. Partey has been playing really, really well of late. That he played really well in the Man City game and the Wolves game as well. And ever since, we have had the left backs stepping up in terms of Miles Lewis Skelly. We haven't had to put Timber on that side. He's been playing right back, and we haven't seen the foolishness of Partey playing right back. We have seen the best of Thomas Partey recently. I think Declan Rice also has stepped up his game of late. I think earlier this season, for whatever reason, he was looking a bit jaded. Maybe the exertions with England over the summer. I'm not sure what it really was, but I know he had some little niggling injuries as well that he was forcing him to maybe not be able to last the 90 minutes in games and things of that nature. But I think he's back to his best lately. And I have to be fair to him. A lot of times I kind of am upset with his output in terms of the attacking third, line splitting passes, even diagonal passes of over distance. And I think in the last month or so, if you really look at his game, he stepped that up. I remember that raking pass to Wanere for the 5th goal. Those were the type of passes that he just wasn't really playing earlier in his Arsenal career. And I think the more he gets that into his game and really fine tunes that, it will definitely add another dimension to him. Because I think when you talk about defensively, what he does as a midfielder, he really doesn't have a weakness. But there's a lot of holes you could pick apart in his offensive game. And I think that, we're seeing a bit of improvement. So I want to see that continue moving forward. But yeah, Arsenal going to struggle, I think, moving forward this season, if we're being honest. I think Leicester comes at a good time for us. I do think that even though we're short-handed, the likes of Sterling, Trossard, and Waneri can provide enough against the likes of this Leicester defense to give us something. And I think that even though I would love to see a lot more goals than just 2 against Leicester in this fixture, I'll just be conservative and say 2. And I think that right now, due to the fact that the offense, we know that we're, undermanned. I think the defense is going to take that as a chip on their shoulder and say the only way we're going to have a chance to win this league this year is if we are just basically flawless. So I think that starts this week, and they do their best and they keep a clean sheet against Leicester this week. Jamie Vardy, hopefully, for once, just is quiet on this day because he just loves playing against Arsenal. But yeah, I'm going to go for the 2-0. Let's check in with the comment section now and see what people are saying for the pick. 2-1 Gunners, Bobby Reed with 1. Yeah, float. Any other day, any other week, Bobby can score. But this week, Bobby does bill. All right, nobody score none. We need the clean sheet just for the confidence, man. But 2-1 to the Gunners, I'll take that as well, because 3 points is the key. One says Skelly has to play, in my opinion, has been the best backline since he came into the team. The rest of them were disgraces against Newcastle. Yeah, Newcastle, not even want to talk about them game there. Jeez on peace. 3-1 to the Arsenal, says Red Skull. Actually agrees with me and says 2-0 to Arsenal. Typically, when you come back from Dubai, you lose the title. Arsenal 3-1 again, Birds. That DOC said 2-2, Bobby Reed and Vardy. Jaja. What is egotistical Arteta going to do now? CC, the dream is here. Yeah. Basically, the dream, I forgot to do something. Why underman? Well, Duke, it's an improvement this week. 50 minutes in. And the first why. Not 3, but all right, CC. So you make sure put your 2-1 Leicester, eh? So why not put the Brighton score? You afraid for tell me the score for Chelsea? Eh? Man, skip right over the Chelsea game and go and come tell me what Arsenal are going to lose. Age is less important than people think. As long as you are physically strong enough to cope, if you are good enough, you'll be fine. Some players are intelligent and others are old and stupid. Facts. Don't encourage him, 1-1. Don't encourage him. 3-0 Brighton dead. All right, cool. I want to make sure. So that a 2 game you pick, and a 0 for 2 you're gone, So if you give me 10 game, that means I'll finish last, in a standing. Marino striker. And Teta takes his place in the mid. But see them talk about Calafiori used to play striker as a 17, 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, Yeah, man. Arteta needs to win a big trophy. I have no time for almost winning. Celebrating second place is for yeah, bro. I don't really know. I think the celebrating second place thing gets overblown, car. I know a lot of Arsenal fans. I know none of them are celebrate second place. So I don't know where it really comes from or who actually celebrates, but I don't know them. Where's a 4-4-2 where I play? So who are gonna be the two? Sterling and Trossard? Arteta thinks he's Pep and he's gone over 6 seasons now with a half a trophy. Where it says so the FA Cup when he win is a half a trophy because is Emery Ball of them. Okay. Okay, so Trossard and so Ethan I go play what? On the right side at the 4. So we're gonna play on the left side then. I think it would have been more like it came from Wenger who said top 4 is like a trophy in itself. Yeah, the Champions League means a lot still, but I think celebration is a bit much, you know what I mean? Nobody not really celebrate it, brother. I'm not go too far now, man. Aston Villa and Ipswich is the next game. This is at 10 o'clock. There's going to be a bunch of games at this time. So, I suggest maybe watching the Goal Rush channel in real time. That's a nice way to kind of get to see at least all the goals when they go in. And, of course, they feature one game. So you kind of watch one game and then you get to see all the other scores and stuff. But this is how they have been in the Premier League in their history since the Premier League started. They played 11 times. Aston Villa dominating with 7 wins. Only 1 win to Ipswich and 3 draws. That draw came at Portman Road earlier this season. It was 2-2. Recent form, Ipswich have really hit a wall. Last 4 in a row, 2-0, 6-0, 4-1, and 2-1. But they did have a good draw away from home at Fulham, 2-2. Aston Villa, 2 wins. Then they had 2 draws against Arsenal and West Ham. Had a bad loss last week against Wolves, losing to them 2-0. I think that was the Monday game, if I'm not mistaken. So far, Aston Villa in 8th, Ipswich in 19th. Goals per match, you see Ipswich struggling to get to that 1 a game. Wolves at 1.42, conceding 2 goals a game. Ipswich at 1.5 for Wolves. Chances created, Wolves getting to the 2.21 mark. Watkins leading goals and assists for both teams. Delap with 9, though, having a good season. John Duran, of course, sold, but had 7 goals before he left. Morgan Rogers also chipping in with 4 assists as well as Tielemans. So this game, people, Aston Villa and Ipswich, Aston Villa having a great Champions League run, and because they had such a great run, they don't have the midweek fixture of the Champions League playoffs to play. So they will be well rested going into this one. I think that they will get the job done as well. In this particular one, I think the reinforcements that came in will help them out in this fixture. The likes of Asensio, I think Marcus Rashford will get some time as well as Marlon. We'll see if Leon Bailey, where he features into the mix after another week of training. Hopefully he can still hold on his starting place, but he's gonna have to start producing because there are some reinforcements ready to come in for him if he's not holding up his end of the bargain. But I have faith that, like in the past, he will step up a bit more just because he has these challenges, breathing down his neck going into these games. So I'm going to say Aston Villa gets this win. They don't tend to keep clean sheets, though, and I think that will continue. I'll say that Aston Villa gets this win 3-1. Hopefully, Leon can get on the score sheet or the assist sheet in this game. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 to Aston Villa. I just don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet because for whatever reason, they always tend to give up a goal. Plus, they don't really have any fit centre back. So it's going to be some kind of makeshift thing going on back there. Imagine getting Isak in 2022 and saying no. No, I don't think we said no to him then. It was before he went to Sociedad. So that wasn't Arteta. I always interrupt your EPL show with reggae boy stuff. How long is this out for? Not looking good, Rob. Looks like whole season thing. Yeah. Terrible news. When I was 6 last year. Jeez, that's probably the angriest I've ever been at Arteta Chile. I swear. I was like, yo, I always have to deal with foolishness where Arsenal fans do, and the coach said this has to be one of the worst. The man saying him gone 3 trophy because of the Community Shield. Jesus. Couldn't believe the man said that start. All right, CC said 5-0 to Villa. Honestly, I really need Villa to lose so them can't beat Liverpool. Or I say if them no man, make them win, man, I feel confident before the Liverpool game, man. Don't lose that one, yeah. Bro, I'm surprised everyone had chances the first time when the wheels started coming off. Enough Arsenal fans were online saying, even if we lose, we win. Some of our fans need a slap. Facts. Facts. Just because we're ahead of schedule don't mean we should just be okay with not winning if we could have won. Yeah, I agree. Chippy played well against Spurs. Yeah, he did. He did. Game Bird said 3-0 to Villa. Red Skull said 2-0 to Villa. Actually said 3-2 to Villa. Leon Bailey is better than Jack Grealish. I think they're about the same damn thing. I mean, different type of players, but I wouldn't say Bailey better than him, honestly. Because I see Jack Grealish outside of the system of City and him play better than Bailey. So, but now I go just what him do at City. Because I see Grealish play for your next team and do more, in a next system. So, I sense a real good signing for Villa. Agreed. But they try to pick him up in my fantasy draft league, but somebody first me, Float said 3-1 Villa. Good score that float. I don't miss the OC one. No. Maybe Villa Grealish, but Man City Villa is better. Oh, not better. Got you. 2-1. DOC said 2-1 Villa. Alright, cool. Don't know Mass Avier's. Duke. Alright, Duke must have got sent fee one time. Just message it, Duke. Alright, next fixture, people. Fulham and Nottingham Forest. So I don't know. This should be a good matchup because Fulham is a team that, based on what position the other team is in the table, it's like them play better. So because Forest is in the top 4, Fulham probably give them best game. 5 games played in the league so far. 4 wins for Fulham to 1 win for Nottingham Forest. Fulham have had their ticket. They got them at the City Ground earlier in the season 1-0. And the recent form of both teams, Fulham has 2 losses, a draw, and 2 wins. Forest has 3 wins, a draw, and a loss to Bournemouth, that 5-0, and then rebounded last week with the 7-0 against Brighton. Fulham coming off of a very good win at St. James Park, 2-1 over Newcastle. Again, a team that's way up in the table. They play well against. If you look at their losses to Man U, low in the table. They beat Leicester. They lost to West Ham, also lower in the table, and they drew with Ipswich in the relegation zone. Fulham, if you look at their games this season, they're getting points against the better teams and struggling against teams that they probably should win on paper. In 9th position, Forest in 3rd. Very close. Average goals scored 1.67 for Forest, 1.5 for Fulham. Conceded 1.13. Forest little better than the 1.33 of Fulham. 10 clean sheets for Nottingham Forest. I think that might lead the league right now. 4 clean sheets for Fulham. Chances created, Fulham with a slight edge there, 1.88 to 1.83. Chris Wood, 17 goals. Jimenez and Iwobi, 9 and 7. Robinson leading in assists with 10, but Elanga getting up there as well with 8 now. Elliot Anderson with 5 on the season. This one, as I said, people, I expect Fulham to give Nottingham Forest a very good run for the money. Fulham typically play the better teams in this league. Very difficult. But Nottingham Forest will definitely be wanting revenge after their 1-0 loss at the City Ground. I think this one is a tight affair. I think both teams will probably score the odd goal and a winner will not be found. I'm going to say this one ends 1-1 in Craven Cottage tomorrow Saturday, at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go with the 1-1 there, people. Rob said, I think Chippy on his best day is as good as any winger in the Prem, not named Salah. He just don't keep that level for long. What he did to City last year, not many could. I think there's more wingers than just Salah. I don't think he can ever play, well, not ever, but he ain't Saka. He ain't Gakpo. He ain't those players that can like change the game in that way. And not the whole game. Because even that City game, like he had like 3-4 different situations that he did something great. But I've seen those other players I just named like dominate the entire game. Like he's not dominating the entire game, Rob. It's gonna be patches. Now those patches could change the game enough to win the game. I'll give him that. He can win a game for you. But it's not gonna be the whole time. It's just not gonna that doesn't happen. Not from him. Fulham win, please. 2-1 Fulham. Let's get the Arsenal B team up. So 2-1 Fulham. And it's greatest day, but needs to have those days you struggle to find them. One of those days all season, exactly. It's not enough. It's not consistent enough. CC said 2-1 Forest. Chile said 2-all. Bless up Jamrock. What go on? Fulham 3-2. Soccer doesn't often dominate a whole game. He's more about moments that win you games. I already seen him take a fullback apart all game and make them wish they stayed in their yard. Maybe he doesn't do it enough times, but I've seen him do it. Like where him just dominate the player the whole game. I've seen him do that. What Gooner? Go back and watch that game. At his best, consistency is problem, not ability. But I won't hijack your show, but you're mad for this one. No, bro, I'll watch back that game though, Rob, because it can be found and watched again. You're talking about the 1-0 where he scored the deflected goal to win the game? I'll watch it back again. I'm just saying, like that best. Like, when is that best ever again? Like, what other game last year was his best? He should have had like 4 or 5 games like that then, or 7, 8. He don't do it enough, bro. What really happened with the Liverpool player Jones after the game? Basically, the core went straight to the Liverpool fans and was like gesturing to shut up and stuff. And Jones took offense and basically started ringing around him neck and beer things, and then fight broke out. And basically, both of them were on a yellow card already, Doucouré and Jones, so they got a second yellow and a red. So they have a 1-game ban now, both of them. And Ernest got a red too. Newcastle when he came on. Impact came on. That's what I said. In a spell, like at 15, 20, yeah. But may I talk like to say the only player that he wouldn't be better than on him day is just Salah, is that's going too far. That's going too far, bro. Yeah, man, it did mad, man. Real Merseyside derby settings, All right, Man City, Newcastle people. So this one is a next tricky one, because Man City going to have one eye on the midweek fixture. But I don't really think they can afford that right now on their current form. They have to focus, They have been dominated this series, 31 wins to 8 in the 49 played. There have been 10 draws. Earlier this season at St. James Park, it drew 1-1. The corresponding season fixture last year, it was 1-0 to Manchester City. So that's been the recent form between the teams, and this is the recent form in the league. Of course, they got that 5-1 beating at the Emirates. Newcastle lost at home to Fulham 2-1. Beat Southampton the week before. City beat Chelsea the week before. 6-0 win against Ipswich. 2-0 with Brentford. 4-1 against West Ham. Newcastle 3 wins, 2 losses. They have lost to Bournemouth at home and Fulham at home. So they have won their last 2 away fixtures, heading to the Etihad to face Manchester City. City have their issues right now in the defense as well. Akanji out again. That's going to be a big blow for them. We saw when Rico Lewis came on, Real Madrid had a little bit more joy in their attack, and I think that will continue for Newcastle. I think Anthony Gordon has been on good form. Of course, they're coming off of making it to a final against Arsenal, handily defeating them over 2 legs, and they should have some confidence going into the Etihad as well, knowing that they can employ a similar strategy to what they employed against Arsenal in those fixtures. This team is very susceptible to the counter-attack. We saw that against Real Madrid in numerous occasions. And of course, Newcastle might not have Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellingham, and these players, but their system and their pace can cause the same problems. You put Jacob Murphy, you put Anthony Gordon on the flanks, you put the striker that is Isak as well. I think that they can pose similar threats, and they will pose those similar threats. For me, this game comes down to whether Manchester City can really try to avoid being too exposed on the counter. And I just don't know if that's possible based on how Man City play. They're going to get bodies forward. They're going to get, overloads going on. And when Newcastle turn you over, those midfielders, Guimaraes, Tonali, they have the quality to play those raking diagonal passes, get their wingers 1v1, and their wingers know what to do. Isak is a magnet for space, and he will find that space on the counter-attack, whether it's played directly to him from the wingers, or he's finding the space when they get down the flank for that cutback where he can be clinical and finish. So I just feel like this game is tailor-made for a team like Newcastle to cause big damage. I'm not going to say that Man City definitely are going to lose the game, because we know that Man City are going to create their own chances as well. But I just feel like the current form that Newcastle has on the counter, this game is tailor-made for them to go into the Etihad and really get a result. So I'm going to go out on a limb and pick the upset in this one. Newcastle to go to the Etihad and win this game. I think it's going to be a classic 3-2 Newcastle win. It's going to be a big win. Just like Real Madrid just did, they will come to the Etihad and get that result. 5 goals again, 3-2 Newcastle getting the victory. Forest 2 with Fulham, DOC. All right. I'm going to get float on. Saka was skinning people alive all the time when he first came into the team under Emery, but now he just cuts back and passes it most of the time. He produces numbers and match winning moments a lot, though. Yeah, that's true. Jones is a player that I like. He need to stay focused. Yeah, Joe Linton out right now, though. But yeah, he's very good, man. And I used to think he was just a grafter, hard worker, but he have good attributes as well, attacking wise. Let's say Isak must score a brace. City might be cooked. That midfield looks like 90 minutes of headache. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. At least Joe Linton not playing. But them can easily play Willock in there and give similar type of, drive. Inverting is a foolishness. City were fine when they had to defend that right back. They brought on Lewis. He was inverting all the time. When Madrid countered, there was pure space. Yeah. Lewis just should have stayed where the hell he was. One time he's up there, way up in the attack, left wing almost errated. I'm like, what are you doing? You're just exposing, who was it, Diaz on that side? Yeah, why Pep never bring on the Uzbeki kid and make him play right back? At least him would have stay and defend. And him don't look like him slow. Chile said 2-2. Float said 3-1 Forest. And 3-2 Newcastle. I agree, that's a float. There's some pan the money pan that one. Yeah, I hope so still. I just want to see the upset with the City winning. Well, overall, DOC said 2-1 Newcastle. Gamebird said 3-1 Newcastle. One says a demolishing. Where say you would have started him? I don't know why. Yeah, he don't look slow. He look like a fast CB to me. But yeah, I would have brought on Kusanov in that game to try play against Vinny. Because at least Kusanov now go really try go get involved in a too much attack and all them something there. Lewis no saying him is a midfielder by heart. So him want go get involved. But I just feel like Newcastle counter is just set up to cause havoc for City, bro. Southampton, Bournemouth. I won't spend a bag of time on this one because I just don't see how Southampton get this one. Bournemouth, for me, is a team that can surprise you with their results against some of the bad teams. But I feel like they have turned a corner now in that regard as well. They have lost recently, of course, to Liverpool, but they played really well in that game against Liverpool, honestly. Could have had their own goals as well. 5-0 over Forest that had been on fire. 4-1 at Newcastle, probably their best win of the season. 2-2 with Chelsea at the Bridge, and 1-0 to a recently unformed Everton. So Bournemouth definitely doing their thing. 7th position now, definitely with an outside shot at getting into that top 4. Definitely has a chance to be in the top 6 for sure. Clivert has been on fire. 2 hat-tricks, 11 goals now. Semenyo and Otara also with 7 and 6 goals. Otara, of course, filling in at striker, the winger slash midfielder. That's now become a striker and doing really well. Marcus Tavernier, been missing a lot lately, but still leads the team in assists with 5. And Clivert and Otara with 4 apiece. So this one, I don't think we can. I'm not going for any kind of upsets here. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I also think that Bournemouth defense will keep a clean sheet as well. So I'm going to say 3-0 to Bournemouth. Another big victory for them. 3-0. So drop your scores in the comment section quick and fast so we can keep moving. Cherries 3-1 says Hot Chili. So a repeat of the fixture when they played them at home earlier. Yeah, I just feel like Newcastle team is just set up to mash them up, bro. Them have all that midfield power and them have the counter-attack pieces that you need. So it's just like them set up to win the game. West Ham and Brentford, this one will be a tough one to call, I think, as well. West Ham, I think, have played better under Graham Potter, but Brentford has really dominated this fixture in the Premier League. 7 games played, 5 wins for Brentford, only 1 to West Ham with 1 draw. But that draw did come in the most recent meeting, 1-1 earlier this season, and West Ham had their 1 win in the game before that. So it has been trending towards West Ham lately. They have 3 losses out of their last 5, 1 draw and only 1 win. Brentford 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw. So both teams kind of up and down in their form in their last 5 fixtures. Brentford, though, in the better league, placing all the way in 11th compared to West Ham in 16th right now. And I just feel like in this game, Mbeumo, Wissa have been a little quiet lately. Maybe it's time for them to come back to the party this week. Or do you think West Ham can hold them down for one more fixture? I don't think so. I think there will be goals in this game. West Ham have made some acquisitions in the January transfer window. Maybe they can add some punch to that striking force. Of course, Evan Ferguson has joined the team. Jared Bowen did make his return, scoring on his return as well. So, they have gotten a bit of reinforcements as far as that is concerned. James Ward-Prowse has returned as well from his loan. Didn't really get many chances at Nottingham Forest, so he's back. So let's see how Graham Potter goes about getting this thing done. They still have their injuries concerns. Of course, Antonio still out. Fulkrug still not fit. But that is going to be it there. Brentford, of course, have been without the likes of Ethan Pinnock for quite a while now. Based on the timeline of when he got injured, it shouldn't be that long. But I don't think we'll see him feature just yet either. I think he did make the bench in the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So, matter of fact, let me check. Pretty sure he made the bench the last game. Brentford. Let's check something, people. Brentford got knocked out already. So maybe he was on the bench in the last Prem game. Yeah, so he was on the bench in the Spurs game. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you know that Thomas Frank really highly rates Pinnock. So if he's fit enough to play, he'd probably get back his starting berth over Sepp Vandenberg. Or he could potentially I don't know if he's going to drop Nathan Collins. He's been very consistent this year. He could go more with that back three setup to get Pinnock back in the lineup, but let's see. Hopefully, Ethan does get back into the team relatively soon. You know, we have the window coming up. Would love to see Ethan able to take part in some matches with the Reggae Boys. Haven't gotten to see him for the Reggae Boys in a little while, so that would be nice for him to get back into some kind of shape and form to get back into the Reggae Boys team, which those games are what, the 21st, so we probably will be hearing about a squad for that team about a month from now. So yeah, if you could get 4 good solid weeks under his belt, that would be really, really good. So he was on the bench last time, so let's see. Maybe he's back in the starting lineup for this one. But for me, I'm gonna go with another draw in this fixture: West Ham and Brentford. I think goals will be scored again in this one. So I'm gonna say Desmond. This one ends 2-2. West Ham and Brentford. That's what I'm gonna go with here. Red Skulls at 2-2, City and Newcastle, and 4-0 to the Cherries. They have defended better without Pinnock. I think Pinnock will be back in the team in the next couple of weeks, though. 2-2, West Ham and Brentford say float. What about Southampton, Bournemouth float? You missed that one there. Game Birds are 1-0 to the Hammers. What about Southampton, Bournemouth? West Ham 2-1, say Chile. Pinnock is the one he rates the highest, even though the numbers don't support that belief. Yeah, man, he really rate Ethan. Even the players, though, because a lot of times, like I saw this thing with some Brentford players, and they were like, who's the hardest to beat? And they were like, Pinnock is impossible to beat 1v1, you know? 2-1, Red Skull. Three 0 Bournemouth. 2-1 Cherries. Yeah, man. One and Billy always a war about Pinnock, brother. Daily war that. 2-1 Brentford. So DOC going with Brentford. And that's the first one for Brentford so far. 3-0 Bournemouth afloat. Everybody pretty much going against Southampton. To be understood. Understandable. All right. And the last game on Saturday is going to be Crystal Palace and Everton. Now, Crystal Palace and Everton, actually two teams on decent form in the league. They played earlier this season. One of the few times Sean Dyche got a win. I think he only had 3 wins in his tenure in the Premier League. 2-1 win over Crystal Palace in this fixture. Last 5, Palace with 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So good form. Very much the same for Everton. So 2 teams bang on form going into this one. Everton have jumped all the way up to 15th after living in the relegation zone for much of the season. 12th position now for Crystal Palace, who also were very close to the relegation zone about 2 months ago. But they have been getting a tune out of their players lately, and they have really turned it around. 1.17 goals scored to 1.04 to Everton. Average goals conceded identical at 1.25. Everton with 2 more clean sheets at 9 this season. Chances created in favor of Crystal Palace with 2.04, 1.46 to Everton. Goal scorers, Mateta now into double digits with 10. Then you have Eze with 5 assists. But Ilman Ndiaye, who probably will be out this game, has 6 goals. And Beto has 4, who actually has been stepping up of late. Got the first goal in that game against Liverpool in the midweek as well. Crystal Palace should be a little bit more rested than Everton, of course. They did have a very emotional game in that derby. And I think for that reason, I'm going to give the slight edge in this fixture to Crystal Palace. I think just their legs being a little less jaded will definitely help them. I think Doucouré played a huge role in that 2-2 draw as well, and they'll be without him in the midfield. I think that's going to be a big loss for them, plus the loss of NDI. So that's, I think, a lot of those combinating factors. I'm going to say Crystal Palace gets the win in this fixture. I'm going to say Crystal Palace wins this game 2-1. Close game, good game, but I think that difference in energy will tell, and in the end, the home crowd will get them over the line. A 2-1 win for Crystal Palace over Everton. Everton have played good football, but honestly, Adam Wharton is back for Palace, so this is a tricky fixture. Yeah, I just think there's bound to be a little bit of a letdown after that Everton result with the late goal and all of that. Quick turnaround to Saturday after that, and you know, I think Doucouré is a key right now for their whole structure, and he can't play. So that's why I'm really giving Palace the edge, and Palace is on form right now as well. Floats a 1-1. Yeah, I was torn. I was gonna say a draw. Just because I think right now Moyes is managing these points well for them, but 2-0 to Palace, says Game Birds. Moyes will set them up strong defensively. Facts. Drew, big up yourself. Like and share. Yeah, man. Let them know, bro. Let them know. Palace, Everton. All right. So there will be 2 fixtures on Sunday, people, and I will be back Sunday night with the review show. We will reveal all the scores and all the pick results. Anybody that hasn't finished doing all the picks for the week, you don't know, in the comment section below the video, just drop all the scores if you want to be added, and drop the rest of your scores if like CC dropped your first 4 scores and fell off. Just drop the other scores before the games are done, and definitely you have all of tomorrow to do so. Of course, most of you taking part already would have given me the first game. Hopefully, CK, my brother, hopefully you see this. I know Biggs G usually drop his scores. Duke will probably drop his scores to me as well. I have Massey's scores somewhere else in the Discord, so I'll add Massey's scores. So yeah, anybody that missed the live show, please do. If you want to take part, just drop your scores in the comment section below the video, and I will definitely add them to the big board and get you involved in the standings when we do the reveal on Sunday night. All right. So Sunday morning, people, we have another fixture coming up at Anfield. It's going to be Liverpool taking on Wolves. DOC says 1-1 in the Crystal Palace Everton game. Yes, I agree, Red Skull. I think a win would be lovely. I think similar to with the issues that Everton will face against Palace, I believe even though they have an extra day's rest, just the euphoria, the whole way that game ended, I believe there will be a slight little knock-on effect from that. But they have been dominant against Wolves. 17 wins out of 21 with only 2 draws. Wolves winning twice. Liverpool did beat them 2-1 at the Molineux, 2-0 last year at Anfield as well. But let's see how this one goes. The form guide looks as such: 3 wins and 2 draws for Liverpool. So possible 15 games they have collected 11 points. Wolves, on the other hand, out of 15 have only won 3 points. But their most recent game against Aston Villa was a win. They have losses to Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest. So basically, the second place team, the 4th place team, the 3rd place team, and the 6th place team, very, very tough fixtures that they have had leading into that Aston Villa game, and now this Liverpool game. So that's quite a tough, 6-game stretch of games based on the opponents they have played, and they have been able to get 1 win out of that, beating Aston Villa, who I think currently are in 8th place. So yeah, quite a bit of rough fixtures for Wolves. They're in 17th position right now, currently just out of relegation. Of course, the stats are going to definitely favor Liverpool. More goals scored per match, more chances created per match, more clean sheets. Pretty much everything that you could look at, they are leading. Salah leading everything, 22 goals, 14 assists. Cunha with 11 goals on the season, and Luis Diaz, second highest scorer in the league with 8. But in this one, people, I want Liverpool to lose. I want Liverpool to draw. But I'm just gonna be honest. Even though they have played this tough matchup against Everton, I think they'll bounce back in this game. I don't believe, though, that they keep a clean sheet. I think Wolves will cause some issues for them. I think Cunha usually turns up against the bigger teams, especially. So I'm going to say he does the same in this one. But Liverpool in the end, just too much. And I'm going to say 3-1 Liverpool victory. That doesn't make me happy to even say, but I just think that's what's going to happen. All right. I have to be honest with myself here. Float says 3-0 to Liverpool, and Float also says 2-0 to Spurs. Red Skull said 2-1 Everton and 2-0 Liverpool. All right, got that. Palace and Everton 1-0. Yeah, got that one. Liverpool 3-1. I agree with you there. And Tottenham and Man U 1-0. Man United are so boring. Liverpool 2-0 said Chile. Game Bird said 4-1. 2-1 Wolves, Cunha with the dagger. How you mean? So wait. Alright, Skull, I give you the 2-1, you know. Cause I swear say 2-1 I did say already, you know. Or that's just what you want to happen. And you want me left the 2-1. Let me know. Cross Z don't stay with his man. Yeah. That is one that is the one thing. Like, I think because he clears a lot of crosses, just because he's so damn tall and he can jump, sometimes him cheat and don't really mark his player as well as he should. Okay, so keep the 2-all, all right. I know you're styling a skull. Sometimes you just like to give you a dream scenario, you know, but I don't really a pick. So I just want to make sure. So 2-all, all right, cool. I'm lucky in the 2-all. And Float never give me the game, them already. Yo, you know, some right score in a my score. Float score in a my score. 3-1 and I said 3-1. No, he said 3-0. And 2-0. Okay, so I have Float correct. Me said 3-1. And me say yeah, so I go with a Liverpool win 3-1. And then in the Jaja. Oh, I go on. All right, people. I hear me good. Yeah, so now in the final fixture of the week, people, we're going to know, we're going to show the Tottenham and Man U recent form and try pick a winner in this one. This one will be at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. A lot of fixtures played in the Premier League with these teams, 65 in total, 39 wins for United, 12 wins for Spurs, so a big domination there, 14 draws. Spurs did win the first fixture 3-0 at Old Trafford. Pretty much the start of the ending for their previous manager. And then this is the form guide. Spurs, terrible, 3 points out of 15. They did win last week away to Brentford, but losses to Leicester, Everton, Arsenal, and Newcastle right before that. Man United, 2 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. They got the draw against Liverpool, beat Southampton, lost to Brighton, beat Fulham away, and lost at home to Crystal Palace. So season so far, both teams right near next to each other, 14th and 13th position, both with 8 wins. 2 more draws for United though, so that's the difference in points. 2 goals scored a match for Spurs, one of the highest scoring teams in the league. 1.17 for United. United with a slightly better goals conceded. They have 2 more clean sheets, more chances being created by Spurs than Man United though. But a respectable almost 2 per game for United. Madison leads these 2 teams in goals. That's crazy. 8 goals for James Madison, Brennan Johnson, Solanke. None of those 3 players I think are even fit and available for Spurs right now. Son has 7 assists. Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad with 6 lead Manchester United. So that's pretty much what's been going on. As I said before, Spurs did topple them at Old Trafford 3-0. I think in this particular fixture, it's going to be much the same. Whichever team is at home, I'm going with the other team. So Man United for me is going to win this game 2-1. That's what I'm going with, a 2-1 Manchester United win. If the game was at Old Trafford, I would have gone with Spurs. The game is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so I'm going with Manchester United people. So 2-1 to Manchester United is what I will go with on this particular fixture. All right. Let me guys know in the comment section what you guys are going with for this one. I definitely will be going with the 2-1 victory to Manchester United. The chicken and devil is fighting on a godly Sunday. Gonna have rain. 1-1, says Red Skull. Yeah, actually, you see my mad take. Whichever team I host the game, I go with the other team. So 2-1 Man U, must say. Believe me. Yeah, man. It's a real talk when I met about the crossing thing, man. That's true. 2 shit club fighting for shits. Where I say I wish opponent need a win or lose, for real. Chile say 1-1. So the only scores I got for Spurs Man U, Float say 2-0 Spurs, DOC say 1-1, Red Skull say 1-1, Chile also say 1-1. Me say 2-1 United. Game Birds alone, they are a pick. Me not see film score for that one. Yeah. Not yet. Okay, see the 2-1 Spurs. And the 1 CC, you know, you see if him get them 4 games wrong, I'm just gonna assume him would have get the rest of the 6 and him can go 0-10 and yeah, him just win donkey of the week. But it's a mid classico. I don't know what you call that. Can't put classico in it. Can't put classico in it, brother. Yes, people. So that's pretty much all the fixtures we're gonna put in the picks this week. Of course, you know there's one more fixture going on in the FPL. Aston Villa and Liverpool will be happening on Wednesday again, so a double game week for all those owning any Liverpool or Aston Villa players. I will not include it in the picks, but just because, well, we'll talk about it Sunday leading into the next game. We'll just talk about it briefly when we do the review show. So I won't even pick that game right now. But that game will be happening and will be included in the fantasy. Now, as far as the fantasy goes, people, I'm going to show you guys how my last week's results were in obviously the traditional fantasy game and the fantasy draft game that I play. In the fantasy, of course, I'm in the I Am Sure Sports League. Big up to I Am Sure Sports. Big up Manning's Man. If you haven't already, I Am Sure Sports, subscribe to the channel. He has a league where some of his subscribers decided to play. And of course, I am currently in second place. Biggs G had to make a run on him last week got all the way up to 130 points last week. So I had a really good week. But of course, the player in the lead, I could only get a 1 point deduction from him, 129. Badaman Philip Clark wouldn't let me get away. But this was how I got the 130 points last week. Ryan Gould gave me 3, Gabriel only 2. Lewis Hall, wish I didn't start him, but only 1 for him. Hasn't really been giving me much lately. Alexander Arnold played 2 matches and got 7 points. Really got the bulk of that in the first fixture. Only came on in the second game against Everton. Morgan Rogers didn't do much, only 1 point after getting a yellow card. Semenyo only 2 points. Palmer did get an assist, so he got 6 points on the day. But Mo Salah got the bulk of that 130. Captain them, he played 2 matches and got 58 points total. Of course, that's 29 without the bonus of being the captain. 58 points. Boy, I wish I had that triple captain this week. That would have been nice. Chris Wood also a pickup for me. I didn't have him, was missing out on his points. Picked him up and he rewarded me with 17 points. I picked up Ndai due to his double game week. Stepped up in the first game, getting a goal. And I think he was like a bonus point for man of the match. So he got 7 or 8 points, sorry. And then sadly got that injury against Liverpool. I honestly feel like if he played that game, Everton might have gotten something even more out of the game. But he got me 9 points, so not bad. And then Isak for once didn't have any points extra in this one, only 2 points. So that's how I got the 130. Didn't really and I forgot I did play my assistant manager chip, and I put David Moyes in there. I figured the risk reward was big. If he gets any kind of result against Liverpool, it'll be worth something. And I just figured that they would beat the first team. Now they do have a next fixture, and I'm just worried about the turnaround and the red card to Decore and the injury to NDI. But even against Crystal Palace, due to the league placing of Palace, if they get a decent result, he'll get some points as well. So very happy with the Moyes selection. I could have went with Slot, Arteta, better managers, Iraola, but I decided to try the risk reward, went with Moyes, and he definitely turned out to be the right choice, getting me, I think, 12 points from the first fixture, and then another 10 points against Liverpool, getting the 2-all draw. So 130 points, definitely my biggest week so far this year, and it was able to get me a little bit of distance from Biggs G in 3rd place now and me in 2nd. So that's how I got the 130 points this week, people. Canada is dominating. They just beat Curacao. I thought that game would be a much tighter game. I think they ended up beating them 7-1, You had 108 last week. Yeah, not bad, not bad. You had Beto and captains. Wow. Really? Why you never captain Salah, bro? Yeah, so 130, nice week, nice week. Now in the fantasy draft league, I am really lucky that I think I got the first pick in one of the leagues, so I put Salah. I think the other league I had like the 3rd pick, and somehow Salah fell to me in that league as well. But this is one of them. Pickpocket FC is the name of my team. 75 points in the draft league is very good. Of course, the captain doesn't get double points. There is no captain. So Salah got 29. And I picked up one area, got me a goal. Havertz will no longer get me any points for the rest of the season, but gave me 12 in his final outing. And then Cunha gave me 7 as well. Konate played 2 games, but one of them got a clean sheet, so I got 7 out of him. And Henderson kept a clean sheet to give me 6. Now on my bench, I wasted some points. Mitchell didn't start. Could have played him over Hall. Williams could have played over Gabriel, but I very rarely bench Gabriel just because of the goal threat that he brings and the clean sheet chance that he normally has. And then Muniz coming off the bench now for the most part, but keeps on getting goals off the bench. So with Havertz gone, I'll probably be starting Muniz next week in these fixtures. I need to pick my team by tomorrow, actually. So I will look at that tonight. And then, actually, let me just pick it now. So Henderson, I'll have in goal. Mitchell against Everton as well. Konate with another double game week, so I'm going to start him. Salah another double game week. That should be good. I picked up Leon Bailey. I know he has 2 games to play. Competition for place, but I wanted to get in on the Aston Villa core. I couldn't get Asensio. He was picked up. Rashford was available as well, but I feel like Marlon Ramsey probably going to play more in that area. Rashford could play up front when Watkins comes off. But let's see. I'm not sure how that's going to go with Rashford. I think Asensio and Bailey will be fighting over that right-hand side. So hopeful that Bailey gets a start, especially against Ipswich. Because I think that's where the output could come for Aston Villa. So I'm hoping that Bailey gets some decent time in that Ipswich game. That's a real prayer. One area I think we'll have to play, so he's going to start from now on. I picked up Iwobi this week. Finally dropped Kudus. Hopefully I don't regret that. And like I said, Muniz will have to start since Havertz is going to be on my bench for the most part now. Nico Williams, I guess I could play him as well, but, should I play him over Muniz? Should I not play Cunha? I just feel like Cunha, there's no point to bench him. I mean, if Wolves do anything, he's going to do something. So might as well start him. I'm definitely not playing Verbruggen. I might get rid of him, actually. So Henderson will be my starter for the most part moving forward. Now, that's one league. I'm in one more draft league. And in this one, I scored 68 last week. I'm in first in this one as well as the other one I just showed you. Raya, Konate again, Livramento and Collins didn't do much. Should have started Mitchell in this league as well. Salah again, I have him, and I have Havertz and Cunha in this league too. Dango and Semenyo didn't do much last week, but I'm going to keep them. Foden, you never know, so I'm keeping him. And Rogers has a double game week, so he'll definitely play this week. So this is what I have to start for the week. Raya, Dean from Southampton, Collins, Konate, and Mitchell. Rogers with a double game week. Salah, Semenyo, and Dango against Southampton. I like them. And then Foden. Don't really love that against Newcastle, but I'm going to start him because he's on my team. And I have Solanke, who is expected back pretty soon, still on my bench. And Sanchez as my backup keeper. Livramento, I don't want to play this week because I just feel like they won't keep a clean sheet, and Livramento typically is not really a goal threat. So I might actually look to ship out Livramento because they haven't been keeping up their clean sheets like one time. So I should be able to get another value player somewhere. Tyler Adams is a midfielder. Chris Richards been doing good lately. Branthwaite. Cucurella. McAllister is available. A lie. Is it worth it? Double game week. Man scored last week, but he ain't no goal scorer. I love it. When I change a good thing. And let's see how the fantasy side looking. My team set up already. I'm not showing up people. Big G, our teeth my side. So yeah, people, that's pretty much it, I've picked all the games. We've checked in with the fantasy. Looked at most of the, No, man, you're good, bro. 42 points. That's not bad. That's crazy that you're captain better. You really had some faith. Draft league, I won close one. Okay. I had Havertz too in draft league. Picked up Marmouche. You're a pickpocketer, damn. There's an inside joke with that league there, man. When Arteta did the whole pickpocket thing. Wow, high scoring for draft leagues. Well done. Yeah, bro. My draft league team going in. Yeah, Salah fell to me in both leagues, and I just couldn't pass it up. Yeah, you sent all your picks in the Discord. Make sure somebody get them. I swear somebody did see it the other day. I say, yo, Mas not around. Mas are getting picks in from early. Wait there. I see it, yeah. All right, so good pick on the Goodison Derby. He said it was going to draw 1-1, and it was a draw. He said Brighton 2-1. Goals from João Pedro and Mitoma and Cole Palmer. He said 3-1 to Arsenal over Leicester. El Canus, Waneri, Odegaard, and Trossard. 2-0 to Villa over Ipswich. 1-1 Fulham and Nottingham Forest. 2-1 City and Newcastle. 2-1 Bournemouth over Southampton. 2-1 Brentford and West Ham. 1-0 Crystal Palace over Everton. 2-0 Liverpool over Wolves, and 2-1 United over Spurs. Aston Villa 1, Liverpool 1. All right, cool. So I have Masp on the big board. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Can you show the predictions league table? All right, so what I can do is I have, let me see. So what I need to do is compile the all of them from the season start, but what I can do is show you like week 24. Let me see. 24. Where's 23? 23. 22, 21, 20. So these are like the last few. All right, so this was last week. So R and Pristine tie for the top, and then that's the same. So we're 23 there. Where's 23? So this was the week before. Nicholas got the tiebreaker over Mas and Javari. And then week 22, let me see. Week 22, Biggs G, 7-3. So what am I going to do, when the season done, I'm going to tally up who had the most wins. Boy, it would be a lot for me to go through and read the overall number, you know. But yeah, me did take it in a week 21, then week 20. But I have all of these from week 1 coming right up. So I can at least highlight the people that won the most leagues throughout the 38 weeks, right? And of course, you don't know, we have the donkey of the week as well. So I'll get the donkey for the entire season. But last week, enough of we share it, you know? About 6 of it. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. One Soto. Damn, my kids need. Well, I have 2 daughters. I don't know if either of them can play baseball, but if I ever have a son, I'm gonna play baseball. Best to start from now and then add them. Doing it at the end is a lot. Facts. Yeah, so maybe one day this week. The good thing is I have access to all of it. From week 1, I have the standings thing set up. So I have all the files them. What we should do is just create a big database where we can actually plug it in. So when we put each week in it, just tabulate all the totals. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Just create like a spreadsheet feed. But yeah, that's true. Better I try tackle it from now so we can do after week 25. This is how the overall table look, you know? Yeah, exactly. Wait, said the Maguire award. And you the donkey. But yeah, it's a good look, people. I'm really happy that I take the time for like document them something because I can actually show like, yo, this person was the most consistent over the whole season. Like the man literally give you the right picks all the time, you know. Don't think anybody gonna really quite get there, but yeah, it's a good look, man. It's a really good look. I've enjoyed bringing this content to you all season, and as I say, it's something where I was gonna do anyway. I play fantasy, so I'm gonna follow the league. I'm a huge Arsenal fan, so I follow that team, and I just love football anyway. So all of these programs is really not difficult as long as I have the time, which sometimes that's a challenge, but I'll make the damn time, you know. You have leagues on Super Brew. Okay, yeah. What I'll do, I should just use some kind of site that do it for you, you know, but through my like for control my thing. And I rather just write it on the paper and put it in myself. Best percentage, exactly. Set up the winning percent, you know? Which is easy, because you can use numbers and set up my thing and sort it that way there. So that's a nice project I can work on. But yeah, guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section before we close off the show. About a few more minutes before we reach to the end of the program. But yeah, I think going into this weekend should be another exciting week of Premier League football. Um, I think right now, let me just do this real quick. We haven't even looked at the full table on tonight's episode. So let me just get the full table on the screen so we can just see where all these teams lie at the moment. Where's the site? There we go. Table. So let's get this on screen for you. And this is the league table currently. Starting at the bottom of the table, Southampton with that win last week now, 9 points, 20th position. They still have a ways to go to safety though. Ipswich 16 points on 19th. Leicester now in the relegation zone on 17 points in 18th. Wolves 19 points after their victory last week. West Ham 27 points, so a good distance from that relegation zone now. Potter righting the ship a little bit for them. Everton all the way out of that zone now, a full 10 points clear of the drop zone. Everton now and 27 points. Tottenham in 14th and 27 points as well. Manchester United can be overtaken by them with a loss. They're on 29 points. Crystal Palace, 12th position on 30 points. Brentford, 11th position on 31 points. Brighton on 34 points in 10th. Fulham on 36 in 9th. Aston Villa on 37 in 8th. Bournemouth on 40 points in 7th, just outside the top 6. Then we have Newcastle and Man City facing each other. They are tied on points, with Man City having the better goal, actually scoring more goals. They're on the same goal difference right now. So that's the tiebreaker that they hold. And then Chelsea in the top 4 now on 43 points. Nottingham Forest on 47 in third. Arsenal 7 points behind Liverpool now. No more game in hand. They do face Leicester on Saturday before Liverpool takes on Wolves on Sunday and have a chance. If they beat Wolves and Arsenal wins, they can go back to 10 points clear with a game in hand if they can win both their games, and Arsenal is to win against Leicester as well. So could very well be a 10-point gap at the end of that game on Wednesday if Liverpool get their way in both encounters. So that's pretty much it, folks. That is the league table. We have gone through all the fixtures, pick the fixtures as well for those who like to participate in that. I want to give thanks to everyone that was in the building, tuned in. Yeah, there were some decent games today in the Europa. I am not going to lie. I don't know what hit me, but I fell asleep like in the middle of the games at 3 o'clock. Didn't wake up until about 7, at which time I had dinner, spent some time with the family, watched Arnett and Waterhouse, which was a nice, entertaining game, actually. Arnett got the win 3-2, and then I pretty much got prepared to do the show for you guys. So, yeah, I missed some of those games, but that's going to be my after show viewing. I'm going to turn on some highlights from the Europa and the Conference League today to see what happened in those games. All right. 1-1 with a super chat. Big up yourself. He says Arteta needs to win a big trophy or piss off. That's my thoughts. Fair enough, 1-1. Fair enough. I believe a lot of people think that way as well. My only issue now is people now have that, well, not people, but he has that ready-made excuse now that they didn't strengthen at all in the January window. I wouldn't put it on that. I think they had to freaking strengthen in the damn summer as well, but they decided to buy a midfielder that isn't really an attacker and another left back. So, that's on them. CONCACAF Champions Cup. Yeah, did Calvary pull it off tonight? I meant to check on that, Calvary was going into that second leg with a 2-1 advantage. So I'm wondering, did they actually pull it off? Let me see. North America. Pumas win 2-0. Turn them over. Damn. 2 goals from the Giant striker. I never know Karaski again Pumas now. Guillermo Martinez, 6'7", 2 goals. 2 second half goals at that. So Cavalry looked like they were good to go. But it wasn't meant to be. Pumas turned them over. Got a red card at the end of the first half. Damn. Penalty and a foul. And then the goalkeeper saved the penalty. But Martinez came on at halftime and scored the brace to knock out Cavalry out of the competition in round 1. Damn. Well fought. Saw John Duran score a brace today over Saudi to give them the win. That was big. If Arsenal pulls this off somehow, Arteta, miracle worker. Villa, I think, could beat Liverpool. Cavalier versus Inter Miami won't be until March. Inter have to beat Sporting Kansas City, their first leg coming up this coming week. So I think Inter have them first league game this week, then them play the first leg, and then play another league game, then them play the second leg. So them have a big couple of weeks coming up now. And if them get through that, then the Cavalier games will happen in March. Yeah. No, I know they had the lead 2-1. I actually watched some of that game. They said the ref was garbage. Damn. Yeah, it's always you got the Canadian teams had a decent, well, the Cavalry had a decent showing. Forge didn't do too bad in their game either. I know they lost, but it wasn't like a beatdown. Also getting to round 1, I think that was yesterday, would have been let's see, Tigres and Guadalajara. Guadalajara turning over Cibao and Tigres turning over Real Esteli, the Nicaraguan team. Let me see. Champions Cup matches. So yeah, Kansas City and Inter Miami. That's gonna be the 18th. So that's Tuesday. So next Tuesday, 1-1, and then I think the second leg of that is the following Tuesday. So 8 o'clock Tuesday night, Inter Miami, Kansas City. Anybody that's following the U17 CONCACAF, you know that Jamaica has one more fixture against their biggest rival in the group, and that's El Salvador. Jamaica just need a draw to get to the World Cup, people. A draw is enough for Jamaica to make it to the World Cup in November in Qatar. That game will be 8 o'clock on Saturday. If I don't do a live stream, I'll probably be just tuned in on JD's channel. And when his stream is finished, I'll do like a post game. But that just depends. I'll get with JD and say I don't really want to do a live stream if he's already doing one. Just it's kind of pointless to split the viewership like that. And I know others are already doing live streams for it too. So I'll just get in where I fit in and just probably do a post match. You know, JD will be across the other side of the world, so probably tired. I'll have a little more energy, and hopefully it's a euphoric post match talk where we're talking about making it to the World Cup and heaping praise on the players, right? So that's the hope. As I said, Saturday night, 8 o'clock. Look out tomorrow night. I want to do a preview show where I kind of just, tell you guys my thoughts on the lineup, players that I think can be crucial to us getting the result, and also try to predict the starting 11, or at the very least tell you what I would make the starting 11 if I was the coach. So yeah, look forward to doing that with you guys. Also take a look at the El Salvador team. Of course, we'll have to talk about the opponent. I've been able to watch them twice now. I watched back their 8-0 win, and I watched the St. Lucia game live. Did I watch along for that? So feel pretty equipped to speak on their team at this point. So yeah, look out for that. A little educational program where I discuss in preview form that final fixture of our group Saturday night at 8 o'clock, where I'll break down the El Salvador team and also break down the Jamaica U17 team as well. All right, people. So big up and thanks again for the support. I want to thank Woon again for dropping the super chat. Also, everybody that passed through, dropped a like on the video, told everyone to share. Anybody new that turned up and subscribed, we greatly appreciate the support. And just know that we'll be back tomorrow night to preview the Jamaica versus El Salvador final group stage fixture of the CONCACAF Under-17 qualifiers. All right, people. Once again, I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And come on, you Gooners.